a werewolf. That's what it's called. It's called a werewolf.
Let's put Emil down a bit because he's very crisp.
All
My
right,
crisp
so
voice is a little loud. I'm sorry.
welcome everyone to another exciting episode, and we are so very sorry that it has taken so damn long. Real life has, as it always does, it tries to get in the way of streams and D&D.
I ain't sorry.
And it's
Right,
horrible.
What do you mean? It did.
Yes, it's really horrible. It's bad. It's so bad.
I'm not sorry.
But at the same time, things happen. And so, we are here now, and that's what matters. And because we are here now, and that's what matters, we can all have more amazing fun times. So, first things first, as always, I have some shilling to do.
Shilling to
Right? First things first.
That's your punishment for shilling.
Yeah. Welcome to my Patreon, as you can see on your beautiful screens.
Oh, the Patreon art is officially done. Yay.
Indeed it is.
I did it. Look at me go. Go me.
Go me.
Indeed, Fallen Star art here. Mr. Emil is my beautiful artiste, as is Mr. Crowlot over here in the middle, wearing his fancy getup.
What are you talking about? I don't do artists. I don't do art stuff. That's not me.
You don't do artists. That's a lie.
Slap you.
I was going to say, your wife is a pretty talented artist. What do you mean you don't do artists?
You fucking liar.
But, so, as you can see from the lovely Patreon, I have some beautiful artwork and some beautiful stuff. And of course, I have many different tiers. I have my Spellkeeper tier for $3 a month. You get access to my Ultimate Spells Archive. That just is going to keep seeing more and more homebrew spells concocted by yours truly. And starting September 1st, our newest batch of World of Warcraft spells continuing on in our lineup are the World of Warcraft Paladin spells. So for those of you who like to play Paladins, you're going to have a whole new spells page to add to your smiting collection.
For the light! Anyway.
Fight before the people. Smite evil.
Or smite good, your choice. Next, for $5 a month, we have the item shop, where you can find all the cool stuff. By the way, just so everybody is aware, each of those items you see on the art is going to be a magic item. However, next month, we have the start of our Shaolin Showdown-inspired Shengong Wu. And the first page is already done. And I am super excited to tell everybody that it is ready to go. These items will consist of all of the Shengong Wu in alphabetical order, starting with Ants in the Pants and going down to the Fist of Tebigong. So, from A to Fist, you're going to have at least some new Shengong Wu to play with. And yes, I am doing all of them, and yes, I know how fantastic some of these are going to get. So, yes, Ants in the Pants is still hilarious. And it is still one of the more interesting Shengong Wu. But
honestly, I'm excited to see what you do with Heart of Zhong.
Oh, I'm super excited too, because it's going to be awesome. I've already got it mostly written up. I just haven't gotten the first page. Or the second page completely done yet. But the Heart of Zhong is on its way. Next, we have the Monster Menagerie. For $10 a month, you can have access to the fantastic monsters. Also, just so everybody knows, the Venus Worm, the Lightigo, the Eye Ant, and the Cluckerus will be appearing sometime in the Monster Menagerie. However,
I'm sorry, what the fuck is a Cluckerus?
It's a three-headed Cerberus chicken that may or may not breathe fire and petrify people.
Please, please, I need this.
It also
invented myself.
it also may or may
Oh,
not
fuck it,
have
just hide
a
it.
hatchling form, a young form, an adult form, an ancient form.
Oh fuck!
It's
I gotta
it's
draw
like
them
the
all.
goose straw. It's everything I've asked for.
I'm just gonna have to draw them all. This is this. I'm working too much, man.
I mean, I was going to use the one picture for all four. So
Hey, motherfucker! I'll split work with you.
I'm sending the Cluckerus to White so then he can see its beauty.
But we then, of course, next month for the species collector, we're starting off in our what I like to call our three-headed phase. I have always been a fan of Cerberus, the great hound of the underworld, and since there already is a Cerberus stat block in Dungeons and Dragons, I decided I'm going to create a bunch of three-headed abominations, and you're all going to suffer for it.
Yay, suffering.
So, up next month is the Serby Shark. It is exactly what you fucking think it is. And it is a good boy, and he just wants to nom your face. As well as anything else he can get his teeth on. He is a good boy, though. Next, of course, is the Species Collector. And for $15 a month, and just keep it in mind, this is the only membership that has a free trial period. So if you like what you have, or don't have any money but want to see some cool shit, 7 days of free trials, and then you get to help support me and these amazing people so I can do more D&D for them. But the Species Collector is coming out, and we have a special species created by the ever-lovely Calicat known as the Meowlicos. They're going to be out next month. And yes, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you will want to play the Meowlicos. Also, I plan to finish the element. As you can see, the Wolfen, the Elemental Tiefling, made it onto the artwork. However, the Ghostly, I haven't figured a name for this yet. I'll probably put a poll for those of you on my Patreon. But the Ghostly one,
Exoskeleton.
I haven't figured out just yet.
It's called. I only had the wolf design to go off of. Everything else I kind of just had to pick at random. So I literally just designed them off the top of my head at a coffee shop.
If it works, it works.
For
It
$20,
works, it
I
works.
mean, coffee shops give you some great inspiration sometimes.
Every single, I will say, fun backstory and exclusive content. Every single tier art piece I drew in a coffee shop. None of them I drew at home. Every single one I did while I was at a coffee shop.
Them cold brews be bussin'.
Them cold brews be bussin'. They on another level, man.
For $20 a month, you get access to the class customization. This month is going to be Druid subclass. For those of you who like to be monsters in a monstrous world, I highly recommend checking it out. And finally is the DM tier. For $25 a month, you get access to all of the chicanery and shenanigans, and you get access to a special item created by me for you. It can be anything. It can be a page of spells. It can be a homebrew item. It can be a race or a subclass, your choice. Or you can just ask me, hey, what do you think about X? And I will tell you. Of course, the most recent species to drop, by the by, is the Wild Wood Elves. So for those of you who watch our Wildlands stream and want to play a Wood Elf from the Wildlands, the Wild Wood Elves are definitely going to be that choice for you. I have so much more fantastic things coming down the pipeline that I am eager to share with you, and I hope you guys are eager to experience. So please consider becoming one of my loyal patients and patrons over at Patreon. www.patreon.com/PAX Professional DM Services.
Yeah!
Now, without further ado,
Coming
As-
to a store near you.
Not yet.
I mean,
That
it
was
might
bad.
be.
I should not have laughed at that.
And maybe one day we might even have Godsy's class on there for you guys.
Yep, just might. You never know. But
That's
Without-
an entire class, not just subclass.
indeed. But without further ado, allow us to get back on to the high seas.
Hell
Yo ho
yeah.
ho and a bottle of rum.
Yo ho ho.
A pirate's life for me.
So, when last we left off, our crew of the Vessi's Mercy had made it all the way to Zoleni, having made their way there via a high-speed train, and of course, having to fight off boarders who were seeking to destroy them. And having done so, and survived their arduous journey.
Most of them.
Well, you know,
Somehow.
aside from one poor, unfortunate soul. In pain, in need.
I drew art of them, damn it.
So far, not my problem. But, with one poor, unfortunate soul being lost, it was sad. So sad. So very sad.
So true. This one wants to become thinner. One wants to get the girl.
And do I help them?
Do you help
Yes,
Do I
I do.
help them? Yes, indeed.
But, with all that being even and equal, of course, they arrived and quickly find themselves in a city unlike anything they have ever seen before. Zoleni is a city of bits, bobs, trinkets, and gadgets, and, frankly, whoozy-whatsits. Because you know you gotta have them whoozy-whatsits.
Do we have the whatsy-doos?
I mean, there's dingle hoppers, man. It's all kinds of crazy.
Damn!
Do we have yiggity-doos?
Man, you got all kinds of things. But,
Do you have altitude?
Hold on. Okay. Just carry on. I was just doing a thing.
but, Zoleni being the city of progress, the city of the future, the city that many Bioshock games are very good at demonizing.
Yes.
I love Bioshock. But with this amazing city, they have arrived at the station, but they did so in the middle of the night. So there is not a lot of people here. While Zoleni may be a city that never technically sleeps, as there is a night shift working, there is not a lot of a civilian population that is up and about at nighttime. Though there are many stalls, vendors, and traders who sell to the local workers, because even workers at night have to eat. You know,
Yes.
person's gotta eat, man. He's gots to eat.
Too much.
Don't say.
No parlez-vous français.
Right.
But Pip Cogsgroove, your leader, your employer, she looks to you all. Well, you better come along quickly.
Yes, indeed. Let's go.
And she leads you towards the heart of the city.
Oh, by the way, Pip. Whilst we're going here, do you know of Sprocket?
Sprocket? Yes, I know of him. Space City, right?
What I get is Tinker Master Sprocket. There's
Yeah, Tinker Master Spacely Sprocket. Yes, I know of him. He is one of the... Well, technically he's one of our clockwork engineers.
you know where he hangs around?
Well, yes, they'll be at the guild at this time of night.
Alright, the motherfucker owes me money!
Oh, well. I'm sure you can work that out with him.
Yeah.
But with that,
Thank you. Let's go.
Are they actually awake at this time, Xavier?
I don't know. Don't care.
As far as they're there.
well,
Anyway?
Spacely probably will be. He likes to keep late and odd hours.
We all.
Oh, well. Truth. Pip,
We're all
quickly.
awake right
we-
now.
I will say, we had to walk because our train got fucked after a bit.
Just a little bit.
Whoop, whoop. Allow me to pull you over to a new map.
Ooh, I like new maps.
Welcome to the
Fancy
city of
man.
Zolani.
Boo! I wanted pretty pictures and gizmos. It's just a map.
I said it was going to be a map,
Wah.
you goon.
Wah.
So,
No, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it right. Give me a second for the emulation.
you see this line right here? This is Orca that says, fuck, you're not going past this.
Pretty much.
Oh, I love it.
Now,
I was gonna say, I can do an actual baby cry. You don't need to.
No, do not. Please, let us continue.
yes. Now, as you have arrived, you quickly go from the station, where you can see that there is currently only the one line, but you can see where there are other trains being developed in order to have multiple lines leading off to the other destinations here on the island of Zoleni. Or Zola. Specifically,
Stop your yawning. It's illegal.
the current line only runs to Gemnackle. However, you can see that there is another one that they plan to run to Hope,
Okay.
which is the small farming community that you guys first
we
arrived
parked
in.
that.
Indeed. And you can see that construction workers are already there, kind of starting the process, but it will take some time. It's something they've only just recently started. However, the first destination is the Guild District. So, the one thing that you can see is that these 4 slices, each one is dedicated an entire chunk of the city to one of the guilds, one of the 4 most powerful guilds. For a quick reminder, those being the Mechanists Guild, the Science Guild, the Guild of Fuels,
There we go.
and the Alchemists Guild.
Yeah.
Each one of these 4 guilds is responsible for one of the major innovations of the city. You then have a smaller slice that is dedicated to a bunch of the smaller guilds. For instance, the Merchants Guild, the Builders Guild, the Workers Guild, and various other smaller guilds. However, each one is its own building, whereas each of these massive blocks is actually one building. It's many different... It's much like a college campus, except imagine that college campus connected via tunnels and hallways that connect each piece to each other.
Oh, that's really
Looks
cool.
to U of M.
The-
Yeah,
And
I can actually.
the Adventurers Guild is just a stall.
The Adventurers Guild is actually a single-story building over here.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be just a stall.
However, the Shipwrights Guild is also over here, but they work in the port. Now,
Makes sense.
the Pip, actually, leads you towards the closest one. The closest even says the Machinists Guild Arcology.
Mm.
And as she leads you towards it, there is a door, barred, locked, and protected. And as she arrives, she walks up to it and presses a hand onto a panel that is next to the doors. You watch as it begins to glow purple, pink, blue, then it glows green, and you hear a "Welcome back, welcome back, Guildmaster." And you watch as the doors
Welcome back, Guildmaster. Sorry.
And as the doors open, you can see dozens of people moving about with machinery or using mech suits of some description. Mostly gears and whirls, but all moving about doing something. And this place looks very busy. Pip walks inside, gestures for Reeve, Xavier, and of course the lovely Nyafta to follow along. And as she does, she gives each of you a hard hat.
Oh, I got a hat.
Yep.
You'll want to put these on. Things tend to explode. And she puts one on herself. Although you notice that hers,
With my top hat on the top.
you notice that hers is specially made because she has these massive pigtails that come out of the side of the back of her head, and they fit
It
through.
has holes for
Yes, it does. It has specially designed holes for her pigtails.
Honestly, valid.
It also reads Guildmaster across the front of her hard hat.
When you're the boss, you can afford such things.
Right.
Pretty much.
But she smiles as she leads you through various rooms, buildings, and other such. There, one that says worker machines. The other another building says machines of the future. One actually says new Tinker's designs. And there's one building that she leads you past that says laboratory. She leads you all the way to the very core of this arcology, where it simply reads Guildmaster's Quarters. And it's a great big, almost neon sign. Magic designed, mostly.
Yes.
Is this where you live, Pip?
Live and work. I can't be far. Too many people need my attention. And too many people need me to be around. So I don't ever tend to leave or go very far. As
Nice,
such,
nice.
Oh.
I tend to keep my work pretty right on home with me.
Right.
That's very smart.
Well, I should hope so. And give me 1 second. But as she continues, as she leads you in, she is quick to, usher you inside. Whatever you see, please keep to yourself.
I know when to stay. Shut the fuck up. So don't worry about it.
Good. Because there are lots of secrets I hold that I would not like the general public finding out about.
I don't give a fuck about the general public. I just want to know.
Well, I care about the general public.
General, why is their name public?
Brave, please.
She leads you into her quarters, and at first you see that there is a waiting room. You can see where there's chairs, couches, and even a couple of cots waiting for people. And it kind of looks like an airport, terminal, like gate. However, there is another set of double doors, and there's a receptionist's desk. As she leads you past all that, presses her hand on the door again, and it opens silently for her. And inside is a loft-style, like, apartment complex. It's one massive main floor, which is full of machinery, mechanical parts, mechanical marvels and masterpieces, and clockwork gears. There are 4 different balconies that can be accessed via stairs or bridges to each other. One looks like a kitchen, one looks like a series of bunk beds, the other has a closed-off door and kind of wall set up to it. You imagine this is a privy and, changing room. And the last but certainly not least appears to have couches and other such things. This is the one that is occupied by individuals. 3 individuals in particular. The first of which is I think I have a handout for you here, actually.
Ha ha.
Also, the time I see like all the mechanical shit working, the magic detecting lens comes down to see if any of this is just like pure mechanism or there's like some magic behind it.
So, what your magic detecting can see is that there is some of this that runs off of magic. However, most of this is mechanical in nature. And most of this is completely just beyond your comprehension, as it is just whirring gears and clicking dials. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But you can easily see how, this place would be dangerous to those who are inexperienced. And I do indeed have a picture. I just need to find the damn thing.
You're doing your best, and that's what's important.
I have thousands of pictures. It'd be more fair to say I have millions at this point, because I have so much.
You name them?
Not all of them and not all the time. Because at some point, you're going to get tired of naming things that you never use.
No, not really.
No.
Every single one of my files are named.
Well, I know your porn folder is fucking organized.
That's
It's very
important.
organized.
That has to be organized.
Please help me, I'm suffering.
Aha, here she is. I has found her.
There she blows.
I mean, And create handout. Fit picture. Thing. And important people. Let's see.
You can do it!
Yes, I can. Because you see this particular individual.
Haha, you found it.
Did.
Oh no, she's hot.
Oh, they
Oh, no.
pretty.
Oh, they're very pretty.
And
Do you have a picture?
there are 2 other individuals with her. One of the individuals is a very crazy kind of looking dude. He mostly looks like a shark that walks on 2 legs.
Mostly a shark.
Looks to make a.
Mr. Mako, would you like to describe yourself?
Oi there, I'm Mako Mistbite. I stand about 7'4". I've got a nice deep blue skin. My teeth could use some work, but dentists hate us for a reason. We don't need them. I usually keep myself armored out in some seaweed gear that I've made out of, well, mostly those fucking orcas. You can usually see a spear or two on me, and around my neck you'll see a hollow stone on a necklace. It's my druid focus.
For those of you who want a more massive visual, there
I'm
you go.
scared about this massive visual. Ooh.
That's what she said.
Mr. Maple
Yeah.
Misfight.
I'm quite happy with how it turned out.
Mamma mia!
And then, of course, we have another individual. Melly, would you like to describe yourself?
Yes. Melly is about 5.5 feet tall, thin build, has the head of a cuttlefish,
I'm sorry, what?
pink skin, I'm sorry, I love the... Yes, the head of a cuttlefish. Her pupils are currently in the shape of, like, clovers or almost like hearts.
Oh.
And she... How many... Like, you said we're by the couches, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So... She is currently doodling with, like, an ink pen on a skull as 3 skeletons sit next to her and then 1 without a head. So there are 4 skeletons in total. She finishes drawing something on it and then sets it back on the skeleton. There you go, you look so much better now.
As you see these individuals up above, the first one, Pip, it's about time you returned. The time is almost up. I know, Gundra, I know. But I have to keep up appearances, otherwise he'll get suspicious. Aye. You know he's tried to come in here at least a dozen times already. Doesn't surprise me. I assume your lot had something to do with the fact he's not here. Well, that and your lot.
Well, Graf?
Graf's minions.
Oh, of course he's a fucking cat. Alright.
But still. And she looks off to the side. I know. Sorry. It's just that with Yvain leading to nature elsewhere, and I being left behind here, it has become a problem, and my friends, such as they are, she says, hissing to a corner of the room, just a corner, want me to be very clear that I'm getting things done. I can understand your conundrum. Presently, Pip gestures to the lot of you. Well, crew of the Vessi's Mercy, allow me to introduce you. Gundra, the second in command of the Thorns. This is, I believe her name is Melly. She is one of the Thorns, or at least a current or temporary ambassador to them. And then this is Mako. He is a Thorn druid himself.
Big
What-
ol' shark
Or a
grin.
type of shark. You look like a great white shark.
I'm closer to the Makos. Hence the name. But, you know, most things
Pleasure to
tend to be a
Mike.
bit more scared of the big guys.
Right. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Xavier Varel, Captain of the Mercy. This is my brother Reeve, and this is our a ship medic, the after.
Hey, wow. That's the title now.
You were a science ship medic from the very fucking start.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were our entertainer.
Originally,
Well,
yes.
now, hold up. That what type of entertainment are we talking about here?
She plays music.
I play music. And sometimes I tell jokes. And sometimes I tell stories.
And she talks a lot of shit really well.
Ah, So what you're saying is, just like the creeps out there, they're the real jokes.
I mean, to be fair, is this? Yes, it is. It is very curious about this. Yes.
Yeah, well, I hope we can all get along. Looks like we'll be together for a while.
Well, I'm always in the mood for some eco-terrorism.
Well, you're going to be a little short because our goal here is not to cause terrorism. It is
Wait,
actually...
hold up. He's gonna be a little short. He don't look like a halfling to me.
On behalf of the small... On behalf of the small, I just...
Let me say that.
No. Anyway. Moving right along. Our current objective is very simple. We need to prove to not only the Chancellor, but also the general public, that the head of the Guild of Fuel is doing something particularly illegal. Nasty. Indeed. I have a few ideas. But first...
I also have a lot of proof.
We'll need a little bit more. And she walks over to the ladder and proceeds to climb up to the sitting area, gesturing for you three to follow.
Right, let us go.
Reeve looks to the new people, and then back to the group, the new people, and then back, and then follows after.
Also, in the middle of that conversation, y'all understood that he went from Australian to Italian real fucking quick.
Indeed. But
I was gonna say Blaze changed his accents quite a bit.
No, I'm talking about Xavier.
Okay.
For some odd reason.
You disrespected my family. You kicked my baby. You kicked my fucking baby.
Why are we
Well,
kicking
maybe-
babies?
Well, maybe if they weren't so football shaped.
wow.
I would stop kicking babies if you know that.
You
What?
ate our dog. Call us stinky pooper babies.
As you all make your way to the top of the stairs, into the sitting area, Pip walks over to the table and presses a button on it, which causes a section to flip, and
Of
you
course
see
it
a
does.
map of Zeleny. However, it's not just any map; it's a 3D model that actually you can like pick up pieces.
Alright, how much time did you spend on this?
About a day, give or take.
Gee,
If
I
I
think
pick
the
up a
better
building, is it gonna pick up in real life?
my
No.
Grassie's tits.
I think the better question will be, how much did it cost you?
Not much. I did all the work by hand. So just the cost of materials, which frankly I have laying around. I made most of this out of the scrap that I have. Waste not, want not.
My Grassie's tits, you have a saintly patience.
I mean, it's my city. I like to be
Reed.
thorough.
Reeve is grabbing one of the little minifigures of a person and is lifting it up and attempts to eat it.
No, that's me!
She just looks at you. That's not for eating, and you're gonna make yourself sick.
I
You'd
am?
be surprised.
You will if you eat it.
Why'd you make it with
Jeez, yeah.
poison?
I mean-
People.
Lead is poisonous to some degree.
Yes, especially
I'm
when
full of
inserted into
mercury,
bodies at
it's
high
okay.
velocity.
At any rate. And she kind of gestures. So as you can see, these are the various different guilds. The Guild of Fuels is the closest one to the docks, as they transport some very unstable cargo at times. A lot of their fuel, if not cared for properly, is let's just call it highly volatile.
Gross.
Oh, I lost you guys.
Hello.
No, you didn't. Just shut up.
Yep. At any rate, as you can imagine, with such a volatile mix of things, it would be best not to let it out into the general public and populace. So, they stayed close to the water. Indeed. Staying close to the water is a better idea. Most of their fuels are water soluble, or at least can be diluted and contained in water. Though it is not the preferred method, especially as a healthy number of their fuel is harmful to the denizens that live in the water. Though granted, nothing much lives in the bay anymore. A problem the Thorns are trying to rectify.
Well, that blockade has to have happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, I certainly agree. There have been problems, and unfortunately, there is not much I can do on it at the moment. However, what is important right now and what needs to be done is I need the lot of you to break in to the Guild of Fuels. More specifically, I need you to break in to their laboratory. Every single guild has a laboratory. Granted, the Guild of Science is mostly one giant laboratory. But their particular laboratory is focused on testing new fuels, as well as testing new suits. As we saw in Gemnackle, the chopper suit, as they like to call it, is a clear-cutting machine capable of deforesting an entire 100-acre section of forests in a matter of hours.
That thing was a pain in the ass.
Indeed. But I have no idea what this new species of creature is. Melly and Mako seem to have more information on the Kalidu. Mostly that they are... I believe you both told me they are a...
You're talking about the fucking fish?
Yes. They are a new species, or rather a invasive species, I think one of you said?
Oh, well, my particular warden was, they're right jackasses, but, yeah, I think invasive is a good word.
Invasive would be a valid
Yeah,
interpretation.
Never mind me.
I never mind you. But,
Dun-dun.
presently, she nods. Unfortunately, these Kalidu seem to be not of the lawful or good variety. They seem to be fairly nefarious in nature. And from what I've been told, it seems that is quite commonplace for them. And as such...
Mako's assessment of their personality is quite on brand.
Good to know. Jackasses. She
That's
says...
putting it nicely.
Oh, I certainly believe it.
Donkeys.
Well, good to know. But as you can see, we have a number of problems. If these creatures really are making a deal with, well, the Guild of Fuels and are supplying him with something more than they have, we need to, first of all, stop it, and second of all, learn more about how this partnership came to pass. If we can uncover more information about it, we can likely share it with the public and then get the Chancellor to take a more firm stance against Graf. While the Chancellor is mostly a figurehead, if he and my guild, along with the Guild of Science, if we can create enough pressure, Graf will have no choice but to either fight us or obey. And if he fights us, well, his suits will be a problem, but we will also have the thorns on our side. And so we can act.
I mean, those suits were really difficult to fight. Just fighting one of them took us a long time.
Yes,
Hey, well-
but three guilds, the Thorns, and the amount of fucking technology they have around here might be able to do it.
You see, the greatest bit about this is we got time, so we can be a real thorn in the side.
I take out my mini drum set.
Like
I
him, he
like
makes
you
funny
already.
puns.
But, DM,
Yes.
would me or Mako, on that note, know, if our fishy foes aren't affected by the toxins in the water?
Go ahead and roll me. History or nature checks, your choice.
Can I roll medicine?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Hey, I'll roll myself some
Weren't
nature.
they eels?
I
They're
can roll either.
fish.
Yeah, I'll roll
Ah.
history. It's the
And
same as
that
my
reminds
medicine
me
check.
to turn off the advantage.
The Caladoos are fish, I think.
The Caladoos.
Caladoos, Caladai, what's the fucking
18.
plural here?
Kalidu.
I don't know why I
Really?
thought I remember in the suit there was like I think eels in them. I thought there was.
So there was in one suit, there was also a fish in the other.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking of the other suit.
Mako, you don't really know. You yourself, when you got to Zeleni, to avoid the blockade, you actually walked around on land and just kind of found one of the places you can basically climb aboard and enter that way. You figured that would be the easiest way to go. Whereas, Melly, you know that the Kalidu seem to be... They're odd, to put it quite frankly. You're not sure if they're immune to the pollution in the bay, or if they have a way to kind of filter it and kind of, ignore it. It's just kind of irritating, to put it bluntly.
They do. It's called mech suits.
Alright.
However, one thing you do know is that they are scarily intelligent. And you are pretty sure that they are not natural species. In fact, you're willing to bet a significant amount of coin on the fact that they are not a naturalized species.
They're test tube babies.
This might be.
Maybe
There,
they're-
as well, Pip, the Kalidu, I'd be willing to wager quite heavy currency that they're unnatural or artificially made.
I was afraid of that, but it doesn't surprise me in the least. Actually, come to be on that topic, I do have some information on that regard. And she pulls out an old looking book. This is a tome from a long forgotten time. It says that a renegade created something. A renegade wizard was hunted down by the Arcane Council. They say he created something horrific and abominable. Something with the ability to... Well... with the ability to seize resources and craft on their own, as well as the fact that they can command other creatures lesser than they are.
That one's kind of scary.
These Kalidu might have the ability to command other sea creatures. And if that's the case, then a lot of ecosystems could be in danger.
Another
Is it gonna
thing.
mess with my head?
I doubt it.
What if there's a very powerful Kalidu controlling your adversary?
Well, that,
This captain of your fuels.
It is. I don't actually. I don't know if that is a possibility. Can they exert influence on higher forms of life?
honestly, I'm not sure if one could, or if one is adapted to, but it's not a terrible theory to go off of. Mostly because we just really don't have any other theories to work with at this moment.
Que pala.
So, if we can find out if a giraffe has been compromised mentally, or if he is simply just, well, crazy and, wanting to be a warmonger. I wasn't going to put it quite that way, but yes.
Well, I am here to express the impure thoughts that you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we can figure out what he's up to and why he's up to it, then perhaps we can get some answers. So, this is another reason I need you to break in to into the place itself. You can do that, then we have a fair to decent chance of getting things done. If
If
not,
we see someone, what do we do?
you can knock them unconscious. Although if you have to kill them, I suppose I can't blame you.
Killing.
Let us commence with knock the fuck out. If death is inevitable, they will die. I'm very sure this one will appreciate the bodies. Points at Cuttlefish.
Oh.
You know,
Reeve got
Recycle
so
your dead.
excited.
Do you not recycle your dead?
Well, I do not. I completely respect if you do. So that's why you would appreciate the bodies.
Yeah, well, I tend to just leave things to the sea itself. Let it
I
feed
just
back
eat
to
them.
nature.
That's why these ones don't have their flesh.
Ooh.
You two are gonna go on swimmingly. I'm very terrified.
You said swimmingly because we're sea creatures.
Thank you for explaining.
You can't swim.
I can paddle. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
You-
if you need it, mate, let me know. I can let you swim.
why are the sea creatures multiplying?
Because if you didn't notice it, mate, the sea is bigger than everything else in the world.
Yes, I did
There
notice.
is a lot more water than there is land in these parts.
I have noticed, yes. So, Pip, as you were saying, infiltrate the guild hall and laboratory. Get
Oh, yes,
information
how do you
about...
propose we do that?
Well,
There is... I can propose something because I have a little friend that can very much just walk through mirrors and
well,
glass.
there's that. But I also had a plan. And,
Millie turns to Pip.
she lifts up the roof of the Guild of Fuels.
What?
The model,
model.
Emil.
Oh.
On the model.
It took me a minute. I just went, that's one way to help. I didn't think that was an idea. That
We just paratroop.
just lift up the whole ass roof, and I'm gonna be, that work.
Hey guys, we just need to get the battle bus, and we're good.
I was like, woo.
I had a moment. Don't look
Continue.
at me.
Just a moment. But anyway,
I am the moment.
mhm.
I am the moment.
As she lifts it up, she shows you a series of roots. And very particularly, she kind of smiles. This is the root in question.
You only built this in a day?
Yep.
Well, I had all the papers and things that I needed in order to see it built. However, one of the docks, specifically one that a friend of mine is docked at, or rather, a captain who owes me many, 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 many favors, is docked at.
It's gonna be the other make, I'll just guess.
And she gestures. There is a special location. It's a tunnel system that leads directly into the Guild of Fuels, into their main fuel dispensary. Their main fuel dispensary is next door to their laboratory. Now, I will warn you that you will probably have to get past some automatons, as there are many such things, but if you get past the automatons, then it should be smooth riding from there.
Alright.
Getting past the automatons, once that is done, you'll be able to make your way into the laboratory and thus be able to gather the information that you need. It will probably be locked. Well, if you see any Khalidu, by all means kill them and bring one of their corpses back. With an actual specimen, I can prove that these creatures exist.
What if they're alive?
I mean, I won't object if they're alive. I will be impressed if you can get one alive, though. They seem to want to destroy themselves.
How are we
Fair.
going to carry a live specimen?
I'll be right back real quick.
What
We
would
carry a
have?
bowl. We get water.
Carry a bowl of water.
Exactly.
Stuff it
Just
in
carry
there.
it with us through the guild, and you'll just hear slush, slush, slush.
No. No.
We have to make acrobatic saves every time we jump.
No. We carry a bowl. We carry water separately. Then we fill a bowl with water if we get one alive.
That makes it even harder.
We have flasks. We can get more.
Reeve is just staring at you like what I'm doing right now. Being like, what the fuck, man? That don't make any sense.
Also, if it is needed, I can try and brainwash it. But you know,
If you can brainwash a fish,
I brainwash
can't
this. Last fox shows up.
I will buy you the next coffee on me.
I brainwashed this, and it was dead.
That
I
is
believe
true.
that's called reanimation.
It's a little bit different than a
Brainwash
weird random
the soul.
fish from a blah 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 blah.
From a plop 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 plop.
Fascinating.
Reeve doesn't know what it is, even though you guys say it all the time. He doesn't know that word, so he's just gonna make a bunch of word jumble.
So, we have that route. Deal with automatons. What next?
Bring it back to me. Any information you find. Information about what he's been dealing with, information about what he's up to, whatever you can get your hands on. bring that information to me. Once I have it, then I can call a meeting of the guilds and announce my findings. And, in so doing, force Graf to either, well, confess that he's up to shady stuff, or simply just eliminate him.
Should we
Right.
be concerned if he finds out that we were snooping before we can reach out to the people that we found stuff?
He won't.
Okay.
And even if he does, he still has to attack here to do anything about it.
Also, I don't plan to leave witnesses.
There's that. But if he attacks me here,
Sure.
then I have every ability and capability to defend myself. So I'm not too concerned over it.
Okay, how many railguns? 4? 5?
Nothing like a railgun per se.
But there is something similar. Please.
I have my ways and the things I need to defend myself. You don't need to worry about how or what.
It was professional
Curious.
curiosity. But anyway, if you don't want to reveal your self-defense methods, I won't blame you.
It is how I have stayed alive this long.
I
But
am not smart enough to disable them, so you wouldn't worry about it.
true. But still. And she kind of gives you a smile. Now, I can promise you some coin. Well, to be frank, I can promise you a lot of coin. But I can also promise you something a little more useful than that. I hear you have a ship.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, assist me, and I can make sure that you have upgrades for your ship.
That is very tempting.
Of our ship. Looks to
What are we talking about?
How is our ship doing?
The ship she has in a bottle in her pocket. The other one?
I meant
The fuck
like
away.
since, her and Kane talk.
As far as as far as you know, Niafta, Tiny Sensei has not reported the ship is under attack or anything. So, I mean, theoretically, the ship's fine.
They're all dead in the night.
We haven't been alerted of
Suck when we get back.
Also, there is now a detailed description of the city. There's even a place located as identified as a Thorn safe house. But presently,
but forgive me, Pip. I need to know our options. What would be the monetary compensation instead of upgrades?
I mean, a couple hundred gold. Let's call it 400 or to maybe 500 gold, depending. Bonuses if you bring me Kadu specimens, alive or dead.
All right. All right. The upgrades would be more useful. I will be honest. Yes.
I figured. But, of course, the real bonus here, as Mako has informed me, and as Gundra has also informed me... welcome to the pack. Thank you, Kawaii, for joining as a pack member. Welcome.
Haha.
Very adorable.
But has the Murloc made an appearance? No, the Murloc has not made an appearance yet, Exile. As you, as she says, it has come to my attention that the Orkana plan to sink a good half of Zuleni.
Oh, yes.
And as such, I cannot turn idly to that news. So, I am working hard to put an end to this. If the Guild of Fuels is, let's say, lessened, then my ability to get the bay cleaned up and restorative efforts underway will be in a much better place. So...
Oh, fuck. I just remembered something. Gundra, Meli, and Meiku, have you heard of the Orkan ambassador that they sent?
Gundra actually nods. I have.
Is he still alive?
Unfortunately, maybe. He was captured by the Guild of Fuels. And is currently being held by them.
The same place we got to break into?
No, he would be held in their, holding bay. Or, well, holding cells.
Same compound?
Oh, yes. She actually walks over and points at a section. So you basically go through the tunnel and you arrive at the fuel distribution kind of dock, and she points over to another location that's essentially like 2 city blocks over, and she points. He's being held here when last we heard of him. My spy on the inside, unfortunately, was murdered shortly after he got me that information.
Okay.
Sandra, will you be coming with us in the infiltration?
Absolutely not.
No hesitation. No.
This is your... And she gestures. This is your test.
Nod.
If you succeed in it, then you will be rewarded. Fail and, well, we get to thankfully deny ever having known you.
Oh.
Plausible deniability. Gotta love it.
They knew the risks when they joined the Thorns. It's not as if this is new information.
Yes. By the way, just a quick question. We didn't have a rush yet, did we?
I mean, technically you've had one.
A long one?
Yeah. You've had one.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
But, presently speaking, Pip looks to you all. Is there anything else that you need me to tell you, or you need to know, for you to succeed in this mission?
How much time do we have still?
From the clock the Orkana gave you, you have roughly 3 days.
3 days. Okay, because it might not be too bad of an idea to recon it first.
Certainly up to you guys.
No, I'm down.
Because I can send the fox in. She is pretty good at hiding and moving through spaces people can't. If anyone wants to go with the fox, aka a druid that might be able to turn into something small enough.
Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about. As I'm gonna wild shape down into a fox.
Why does it have a horse tail? A seahorse tail.
It has a shark tail. You uncultured swine.
It's a land shark.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Rain
But
shark.
I can send Rast over here to try and break on, as I can also look through her eyes. So that might be an idea, if anyone is...
I'm certainly all for it.
I have nothing against it.
Gently raise his hand.
Yes?
I also have.
Yes. You can go, but that only affects you and people around you, so you have to be with them. I can have that, but centered on her. So she can move with the pass without a trace. Which is... doesn't put you at risk. That's the thing.
If we were to all go now, that would be the better option.
What time is it at this point?
I was just sent an image by Exile by I think something that'd be even better for me to turn into. A shark
What?
bunny.
A shark, but yes.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna send you the picture for approval on this, but I would love to be able to turn into this.
So, I don't know exactly what you said. I thought you just said shark butt. Please
Bunny.
tell me that's something completely.
Bunny.
Oh, a shark bunny. Bunny. Shark bunny.
It's horrifying.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, I'm looking up shark bunny. Oh, baby.
Oh, I should probably just throw it into the
Yeah, you might as
general
well.
chat. Yeah. So yeah, I'll throw that in general chat so everyone can see what I'm turning into.
Oh my lord, it's... No.
Oh, I love it.
It's no.
Now I have a new stat block to figure out.
To make. Yep. Right.
Here,
So-
I got a cute one.
So, everyone, if we're not objected to sending Rust over here, Mako, would you like to go with her?
Little shark bunny looks up at you and then hops with a nod. And then you
Right.
hear in the back of your head,
I'm a carrot.
"Well, mate, I should have probably let you know I can talk in your head. You just can't talk back." Telepathic
on.
feats are fun.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, it's almost as horrifying as a post that got put in a different game I have.
Yes, your communication doesn't give the creature ability to respond to you telepathically. That's fucking great.
I hate
Right.
that. I hate that. What the actual fuck am I looking at?
Is there a couch in this room?
Yeah, there's
Yes,
a couple.
We're all on a couch.
Alright. So if you don't mind me, I sit down, I just get myself comfortable, and you see my eye. Like, do you want the one I have? Roll back.
There is an art channel in the Discord for a reason.
Yes.
Of you
Oh,
uncultured
no.
swine.
I'm gonna do what I want.
The other eye,
yeah, there is.
the eye I still have rolls back into my head, and you just hear me go, "Well, everyone, I cannot hear nor see you, whilst she isn't in the room. So if you need me to wake up, just punch me in the shoulder."
Do you think he can smell us?
Yes, that is still very much a thing.
I thought you said you can't hear us.
The fox is still in the room.
Oh, Reeve.
Reeve is genius.
Hey, be nice. Just leave them alone.
I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna
Fuck
fight him.
whips. Fuck whips the shark buddy with a broken glass tail.
All right, so
I'm gonna.
sounds like there is some sleuthing going to happen.
Some animal sleuthing. Yes.
Nieta, are you joining us?
We don't have to leave the room.
We're not leaving the room.
Oh.
I'm sending a familiar.
The familiar and the shark are going.
Yes, the shark is just in case he needs to cast magic.
Aw. Okay.
As you see little bunny shark just walking away.
I mean, hopping.
Well.
They don't
Really?
really.
Bunnies run too.
You can ride the
Oh,
fox.
boy,
She's
you can
medium.
run.
Oh my god, that's a terrifying idea. Let's run it. Tiny bunny shark is riding a fox.
By the way, it's a fox made of glass with a emerald heart that is partially turned to dust in its core.
I need to remind you now, Doc. You chose this option. You invited me, knowing how White and I can be together.
Did I say you couldn't? Like, I don't have a problem with how you two are.
I'm
just-
just stating. It's your fault for the shenanigans.
Right. So, Fox is just gonna go out with the
Alright.
shark and tow.
So, that is what Team 1 is doing. Team 2.
Also, before the thing it leaves, I hand Niafta a piece of paper. I was gonna say Reef, but then I thought about my decisions. Niafta, if possible, find Sprocket and collect upon this.
Repeat that, please.
If possible, find Sprocket and collect our money.
Okay.
That is true. There is a gnome here in the out here in the Machinist Guild who owes you money.
And I hand you the promise of payment that I have.
Okay.
I believe it was like 120
Yes.
or 125. Yeah.
There's 120 gold pieces.
Yeah.
You remember what for?
For delivering Romeo and Juliet.
Correct. I'm glad to see you take notes.
I don't, it's just my memory. I remember stupid things for a long time.
But yes, so a Mr. Sprocket, a halfling tinkerer here in the Machinist Guild, does indeed owe you 120 gold pieces.
Oh, that's not little.
That is correct. That is not a little sum. So Team 2, Niafta, Reeve, and Melly, you could ask where Mr. Sprocket is, or you could go look for another way to assist in this infiltration act, or you could do absolutely nothing. It's your choice entirely.
Consensus.
Reeve slowly looks to Niafta with the paper about getting money from Sprocket.
I mean,
I
if
have-
we
I have,
find him easily, sure. It's just like, you know.
Niafta, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have that rerolls spell?
Reroll spell.
The Gift of Luck, I think.
Oh yeah.
Can you
Yes.
cast that on the fox? Just in case.
Well, let me check. So the fox is a familiar, right?
Yes.
Yes. Doesn't count as a familiar because it's an animal companion at this point, yes.
Oh my character sheet is not.
It does say a touch. You grant a touched creature. So
Yeah.
yes, technically you could give the gift of luck to the fox.
Ho ho.
And you can do it as a ritual, so it costs you no spell slot.
So how long would the ritual take?
It's like
10
10
minutes.
minutes.
Oh, okay.
And it lasts for 24 hours.
Ho ho ho.
It's just this is taking forever. Would you like me to cast it now?
Yes, because she's leaving out the door.
That is true. She is going to be gone and never to be seen again. I mean, wait, what?
Do I find this in
I mean,
my-
she will stop if you. I will tell her to stop if you cast the spell. But yes,
Really said lullaby.
Gift of luck. Where do I find it?
It's on
It's
your
in your
spells
spell
page.
list.
It should be under your second level spells.
Okay.
But I know what it does, and so all
I know
you
what it
just need
does,
to do
so
is
yeah.
say, I cast it.
Mhm.
Beautiful. So, as you cast the spell, you watch as a series of gray motes of energy kind of fill and flutter around the little fox.
Okay, sweet.
And as they do so,
its glass silhouette is now a disco.
with only one color, gray.
Yep.
However, as you have cast it on her, the fox is now ready to go.
There she leaves.
Yes, and she leaves. And as she does so, Niafta and Reeve, and Melly, you guys go or ask where Mr. Sprocket is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want it. Yeah. Is
All right.
Nelly gonna join us on our very first mission as well?
E.
She got the goons to beat up Sprocket if he doesn't pay up.
Kind of do.
Alrighty.
Gonna beat up Sprocket.
I'm fascinated to view how your culture does this.
What do you mean? We just beat him up if he doesn't give the money.
If he still doesn't give the money, I eat him.
Then
Win-win.
he gets the holes again.
And it's the give me 1 second.
Oops.
Aha. But you find your way, you ask Pip where you can find Mr. Sprockets. And Mr. Sprocket, and she nods her head. Yes. He will be in his section of the labs. You're looking for Sprockets Inc. You'll be able to recognize it. It has a big gaudy sign that reads, "Tomorrow's Technology Today."
We passed that on the way here. Well, they did.
Indeed you did.
Tomorrow's technology, today's money.
But as
Exactly how
you
much does he owe us?
Niafta has that amount.
120.
Uh-huh.
It is written on the paper, so.
Indeed it is.
Yep.
But as you get ready and head off that way, again, Pip, just be careful, please, don't die, and don't get brutally butchered.
What about softly butchered? Kindly.
Softly, kind.
Can you kindly butcher someone, I wonder?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
slowly.
Kindly put a dagger through his hands to block
It's
him
called
off
being
his
Canadian.
people.
I
If
mean,
it's just being Canadian, then you're just doing any war crime. Let's start with waterboarding. That's the easy one to do here.
I was gonna say, if
No,
you're just Canadian, then yeah, there's nothing softly about it, since they've already
Hey,
been, you know.
No, it's soft because they apologize.
I mean,
I ain't apologizing.
who knows? But anyway.
Sorry.
You know this would be over if you just told us what we want to know, eh?
Hey, we bring 500 soldiers of the Salvation Army.
What, bro? For those of you
Where's the
who
money, eh?
For those of you who want a hilarious experience, please go watch Hellsing Abridged. But do keep in mind, it is not for the weak-hearted or the easily offended.
I got it crosses and we got a bird.
Protestant hell.
At any rate. But, as that is being, as the three of you are going off, whew, let's see. Niafta, roll a d20. Whitehill, roll a d20.
Oh, hold on.
Sure.
Do it now!
14.
Alright then.
Oh,
Whitehill, we shall focus on you. So,
Alright.
where do you go? Where are you going?
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the Glass Fox's sheet, and I have probably fucked up.
Probably. Just probably.
Just probably, yeah. Its AC was wrong. Anyway,
At least he's only probably screwed up.
its AC was wrong, nothing else. So, Fox is going to go towards the fuel complex.
Are you doing it stealthily?
Yes, very much so.
Then roll me that sexy stealth check, you beautiful motherfucker.
I'm trying to remember what level spell it is because I
Cast without a trace is second, if you want.
second. Yes, because that
Yes.
is the plan view. I'm just trying have to go through.
Can
but-
you cast it while in wild shape?
It's a good question. I've never. That's actually
You cannot cast it. You cannot cast it in wild shape yet, but you can go out of wild shape, or before turning, you can cast it and then turn.
If the DM's okay with us doing that before I
Yeah, that's fine.
before I change.
You would know that you're going to cast that and that you would need to. So you can concentrate for up to an hour.
Which leaves me open to cast other shit.
Quick.
I just remembered I can cast inflict wounds through this fox.
I inflict the wounds. The wounds on you.
But yes, Fox will roll a stealth check regularly. I will just use the roller because So that's 24.
Is that already with the plus 10 on it?
Yep.
All right.
It has a +7 base.
Got it. So, with all that being said, and all that being done, our brilliant people make their way through the city. The fox and the bunny on top of the fox staying in the shadows and keeping out of sight.
Yes. Yeah, because if people saw a glass fox in the middle of the street, they'd probably try and steal that motherfucker.
Indeed. But, keeping it stealth and keeping it quiet, you guys are able to... Fucker. Sorry, hang down. But, as you're able to make your way through the city, and you see a lot of it. This city is spectacular. And it is full of... You can see gears and cogs and wheels moving about. You see... as you head towards the Guild of Fuels, you can see little carts that seem to be either semi-automated or fully automated in some cases, moving back and forth between the city and the docks. You can see the ones that are semi-automated are pulled by mechanical and clockwork men or horses. You can also see constructs of various shapes and sizes that appear to be human, minotaur, or other. And they are wielding various tools and doing various manual forms of labor. You can see that there is a couple of living folks directing them, but for the most part, these automatons are left pretty much to their own devices. And as such, they are mostly autonomous. And you come to realize very quickly that if, completely left alone, they would probably continue to function as normal without any real concern. As you're making your way, however, as you get to the Guild of Fuels, you start seeing more of those mechanical suits and the like.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, you start seeing men in suits that are reminiscent of the Shredder. However, these have more massive, hands, 4-digit, 5-digit fingers and hands that are lifting heavy crates or that are moving pallets of materials this way and that.
Okay.
Your fox gets to the outside of the arcology. Now, you were only shown one way in. Do you make your way to the docks, or do you try to find another way in around the arcology?
Trying to find another way in, because if she goes in through there, they might, and we get found out, they might reinforce that.
Roll a investigation or perception check. One is wisdom, one is intelligence.
Yes. I will not use my senses, right? As I am.
Yeah, you're looking through the eyes, so yeah, you would be using your senses here.
Alright, so I will guide myself, because him doing the pass frees me up to do that. So I will do a perception here. 18.
So with an 18, your fox is able to find a loading bay. This one has your more traditional kind of carts and other such kind of peeking out of it. You can see various carts, wagons, and other such things poking out from it. And in so doing, you do find another way in, being that this loading bay is got, is not currently being... It's open and accessible, but there's nothing going in and out right at this very moment. That's what I wanted
Okay.
to say.
She just goes in, going from cover to cover.
Alright, and as she goes in, going from cover to cover,
Here we go. I mean, what?
Very hiding.
Let's go.
I'm getting better at that. But as you enter, you can see many dwarves here. Mountain dwarves, a couple of hill dwarves, and a couple of Aryans, all lifting and moving and setting things where they need to be. It is a lot of back-breaking work. And these are... you see a majority of men working in this crew. However, you do spot the occasional Goliath, male and female, lifting heavier things and heavier boxes. You also see a couple of Minotaur. One in particular is serving kind of as a guard. The other has a collar around his neck and seems to be lifting and dragging and carrying much more than everyone else. But then again, also is Minotaur, so can handle it.
Yeah. Okay, so we did have some directions towards the holding complex.
You do. Though you do not know where that would be from this particular point.
And
As you kind of found this point.
From the port, right?
Right. However, you did see that there was a junction in the maps that you saw. You did see that there were several junctions, and you do know that one of the things to help Zeleni operate is an abundance of signage. So theoretically, if you got to an intersection, you could actually look for a sign. And it might just open up your eyes if you see it, but how you saw it with your eyes closed, I still don't know.
The way, the only way in is through the Minotaur?
There is a Minotaur. He's not necessarily guarding the way into the complex. He's kind of just keeping an eye on everything as it happens.
Okay, so Fox is just gonna skirt around him and go in.
I do need another stealth check at this point. Because there are a lot more people actively looking around or actively moving here there, kind of.
All right. We'll guide the Fox. From how many fucking feet away? Because I can. Because I can make the touch or self spells target her instead.
Yes. This is correct.
Yes, Mason?
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I'm trying to keep track of a few things.
He's going to say that this is a shit idea and you are shit.
Oh, are you kidding me? If anything, if a fight starts, I just get
Another 24.
Nice.
Also,
Running isn't
always roll below a 10.
Gotta love having that plus 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It has been saving you.
Yeah.
But as you make your way further inside, under the sight of the Minotaur guards, guard, as well as some of the other guards. That is true, Exa. But as you make your way through, it doesn't take you too long to find the roads and the kind of, calling them streets would be a fair name for them. And they are numerous. However, much like you saw in the Mechanists Guild, or the Machinists Guild rather, you can see that, yes indeed, there are signs. They are written in Dwarvish. Do you speak Dwarvish?
Yes, I fucking do.
Nice.
Hey, look, a language that's actually being used for once. I mean, what?
I
I
mean,
worked for a cartel dwarf. I fucking speak it.
technically, Dwarvish is
So
actually
proud.
the most used written language in D&D.
I'm not surprised. Fucking most people think fucking fantasy, and the first thing that goes to their mind is, "Oh, I'm gonna be a dwarf." Herder.
Working for a cartel boss that happens to be a dwarf paid off.
Actually, hilariously, just so everybody is aware, for those of you look for a DM tip, remember Dwarvish as a script is used by Dwarvish, Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, Orcs, and Primordials.
Looks at Icewind Dale.
So keep in mind, if you are using Dwarvish as your written language, that anyone who speaks and reads Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, Orc, or Primordial would also read Dwarvish.
Will understand somewhat, yeah.
There's your DM tip for the day.
Pickles, yeah.
But yeah, it is the most used script in D&D 5e.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But, this current... I don't think Altharian knows Dwarvish. Or is that Aiden? But anyway, you don't see one that for the detention block, but you do see one that reads Fuel Distribution Center.
Is that the thing we have to go to?
That is that is where your main goal is, yes. Or rather, that is where the tunnel will let you out into. And so if you get there, you would know your way towards the laboratory as well as the detention center.
Okay, let's go towards there.
Yep, you're finding landmarks to find a location.
Yep.
It's a very
I
common
could just
thing.
I could just hop out the fox and ask Pip, but you know. But fuck it, we ball.
We ball. Devotion.
As you make your way, walking fast faces passing your homebound. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
And I need
I'm a
you.
seagull, go fuck yourself. I mean, what?
You're a shark bunny, go fuck yourself.
Yes, Jacksepticeye makes many things better.
It's not even him. He actually reacted to it. It's not actually him.
Shh. Shut up.
Just something taken out of context that someone made. What?
Take everything out of context. Shark bait, mwahaha.
Wait, hold up. Why are we baiting Mako?
Shark bait, waha.
Because it's funny.
Alright, let us continue. Fox is doing the ta-da.
Yes, Fox is doing the sneaky snack. And as it does the sneaky sneaks, you arrive at the distribution center for the fuel. I am not the fuel. You are the fuel.
Oh.
For those of you who get that reference, I love you and you are amazing. And you also watched good TV when you were a child. It was the best Sonic cartoon around.
Yes.
But as you arrive, the fuel distribution center is a buzz. It's like an anthill with activity. There are people running this way, that way, upside down even, as a few people are literally walking on the ceiling in order to avoid running into other people. This place be jumping, yo. There are discotheques with not half as much movement as what is going on here.
Dude.
And I need you to roll another stealth check, Mr. Fox.
This whole time, the shark bunny's just like plastered down to it, looking like a fucking rabbit skin coat.
Salute.
I'll use one of the luck points
All right,
just
roll
to
again.
be safe, and she's also guided. Oh my god.
Oh no.
20.
All right. Is that your final
This
answer?
is the absolute fucking minimum she can roll. without it being a 1.
Indeed.
20, yeah, that's it.
All right. 20, that's it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. So, as you make your way through, trying your best to stay out of the way, thankfully you do. However, it's a near miss a few times, as people are setting things down haphazardly and quickly moving on to the next thing. There is a beautiful chaos to all of this motion and movement, but as an outsider, it is very hard to learn the rhythm. But thankfully, you're able to just avoid getting in the way and just avoid detection. And as such, you are able
a bar scope and slip on by.
Something of that nature, yes. But as you do, you can hear a booming voice. Hurry up, you maggots! We've got to have this shipment out yesterday! That damn blockade won't keep us in here forever!
Oh no.
And you see a dwarf with a magnificent beard. It's also smoking in several places, from flames here and there. And it looks like he's slicked his hair back with oil, as it's unnaturally shiny.
Oh, okay, that's Graf.
And he is carrying in one hand a cudgel that he's using to whack people who get too close to him. And
okay,
in the
maybe
other
not Graf.
And in the other hand, he's holding a clipboard with a bunch of stuff on it. As he does, he kind of frowns, and you can see following in his wake is another dwarf. This one an Aryan. Sir, we cannot. The Aryan is the one who is speaking. Sir, we cannot rush them any faster. The new fuel that you've designed and that we've experimented with is highly volatile. It's even more reactive than dynamite. If we drop it, I know what could happen if you drop it, you clod. But if you drop it, then I have one less idiot on my payroll.
Okay, correction. It is Graf.
Sir, we're doing all we... I don't want to hear we're doing all we can. What I want to hear is, yes, sir. It's been done, sir. It's shipped, sir. Do you know how every day we lose at least 3 shredders to those damn elves and those damn thorns? I can't keep replacing those kinds of losses. Sir, are you sure this new fuel will make the blades spin even faster? Will make them move quicker? Yes. It has performed that in hundreds of tests. But the stability is something we will deal with later. After all, these shredders, if they decide to go supernova on us, we can just have the pilots push full throttle and watch them run into the waves. And then there's no more opposition. Isn't the goal to harvest as much of the fuel? I know what the goal is, Foreman. I suggest you remember what my ultimate goal is.
May I interject here? Sorry. As soon as I hear that this guy is like, oh, yes, sir, no, sir, I am writing. I take out a pen and I'm trying to write down everything I can that I hear.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Sure, and I'll guide myself, because fucking why not?
Why sleight of hand? The fox isn't writing anything.
No, but my body is.
Oh, and you can't see.
And I cannot see.
He's also going for speed here.
11. No.
So,
It
I
is
mean,
very piecemeal.
your shorthand is great. If only people can read it.
But when I get back, I need to see if I can read it and try to decipher it. But yeah.
I mean, you know, that's something you have to worry about. However, they continue to talk in loud, raised voices, though as they leave your immediate vicinity, it becomes muffled and almost impossible to discern what they're saying.
Yeah.
Do you continue forward to your planned destination?
Yes, I need to check if the orc is alive.
Alrighty. So as you continue through the distribution center, you eventually arrive at the hallway and do indeed see a path. One path says detention center, the other says laboratory, and they point in opposite directions.
Fox pokes the bunny and then gestures towards the detention center, looking for some kind of approval.
The bunny nods its head and its mouth forms into a big old shark grin.
Shark grin, ooh-ha-ha.
So much.
Short greet, ooh-ha-ha. And the fox tippity taps towards the detention center.
Hippity taps indeed. So, excuse me. As the fox tippity taps its way, you soon arrive at a detention center, and here you don't find any normal guards. These are all automatons.
Yeah.
Xavier, you would know the basic ones are known as Warforged. Very simply, they are what they always have said to be. However, you do notice that there is another type. And these are kind of the pool-based ones that you've seen. You don't know what these particular creatures are called, but they seem to be more inventors, tinkerers, workers, rather than the, kind of war creature that the Warforged are. And this one, apparently, is sitting down, kind of fiddling with chains and manacles, repairing or straightening or fixing or, just maintaining as they do so. Its whole focus is ingrained in this. And you can see that in its body is a variety of tools, all like metalworkers' tools. The Warforged, there are two of them. They're both shaped like minotaurs. And they're patrolling back and forth in front of this steel door. This steel door is closed. You can see bars on the top section. And there seems to be a smaller cage off to the side, where you can see that there are a couple of drunkards, a couple of dwarves that are drunk off their rockers, just sprawled out in there snoring away.
Okay. So there's 3 automatons?
3, yes.
Okay, 2 Warforged and the
tinkering
warden type 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. The warden has the keys on him.
It definitely looks like if any of them would, it would be him.
You would be him. Okay. So is there a way that we can go into the room without them noticing?
So yes, because there is no they're not paying attention to the door. None of them are. The 2 minotaurs are looking basically straight ahead and marching to one side of the room, turning around in 180, and then marching back to the other side, and just seem to be constantly shifting sides, passing in front of the door. But the only time they ever look towards the main door into this room is when they turn.
All right. So there's the massive steel door that they're guarding.
I wouldn't call it massive. I would say it's big enough to accommodate them and most creatures.
Basically, does it look like a solitary confinement door? That's what I'm asking.
No, it looks more like an entrance into another hallway or another series of rooms.
Does it have, stereotypical slit with bars?
At the top of it. However, the top is more like a window that the Warforged can peek into. But it has thick bars, about 3 of them in between there. The rest of the door is a solid sheet of metal, probably steel, and it looks to be perfectly flush with the wall. You do also see that there is a keyhole down by the handle that would pull it open.
You hold down by the handle. So to go further into the thing, it would need to go through that door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a plan. So it's eye level with a normal humanoid, right?
Eye level with a large humanoid.
Large humanoid?
Mhm.
There is no type of elevation in this room, right? Or is
There are a couple of chairs in here, but they're not close enough to the door to matter.
how close?
This room is about 20... It's a 20 by 20 foot room. The nearest chair is like maybe 10 feet from the door. However, there's a series of chairs, and they're all metal and kind of bolted to the floor.
Okay, so could the fox go beneath the chair and look up to see a part of ceiling through the bars?
You could certainly try.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Alright, I definitely need another stealth roll.
Let's go. Plus 17 and a d4. That's more fucking like it.
Finally, above a 10.
That's 32.
Your fox is able to make it underneath the chair, though the shark bunny keeps getting bumped under the chair because it's just not enough room.
Yeah.
However, as your fox gets to the bottom underneath the chair, it looks up, and it can indeed see into the room beyond the iron bars.
Okay. The fox goes and holds the shark tighter. And just in that space beneath the chair, on the floor, a mirror appears. And on the ceiling, on the other side of the door, another one. And the fox walks through it to the other side of the door.
Alrighty. As
Sudden teleportation has fox bunny flailing.
It is its mirror walk ability.
Nice.
Nice use of that.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll allow it to take a creature that's on top of it with it.
I mean, I would say if the fox, I would tell the fox like to cup and mouth the bunny.
Holds the bunny like a cat holds like its kitten.
No, just full on vores it for a second and then spits it.
Confused flailing from Shark Bunny.
I will allow. But, tink! Inside, you see a row of cell doors. There are bars, and you can see through the bars just fine. You can also see that there are over a dozen cages in here, a dozen cells. And as you go further down the line, you can see that there are all manner of people and things in here. There's a man currently were-sharking it out as he is losing his mind, ripping up his cell, like the bunk that's made of wood, kind of chained to the wall. He's just taking big chunks out of it. You can see that there's dwarves in here who look to be, pretty nasty customers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of humans in here. There's a couple of gnomes. The most interesting person, however, is at the very back. His cell is special. As, for one thing, there is another door separating these 4 cells from the rest. And you can actually see that this cell is inscribed with this second security door. It's still a bar door. You can still see through it, but it is inscribed with runic markings in order to make it stronger and reinforce it. Your mirror walking ability can be used to once again bypass it, because it does recharge after a minute.
Yeah, need to wait a minute, but yes.
Yeah, and so you're able to do so. There are 4 cages in this section. Each one, the bars are made of a metal that you have not seen before, are also inscribed with runes, and you can see that these particular runes are meant to keep magic from being used within them. In particular, it doesn't specify magic, but you can see that there is painstaking work to make these runes also reinforced, so it's harder to tamper with them via the mundane means. The doors to these cells are also solid slabs, while the bars are so tight it might as well be a type of chain link.
Also, no guards in the cell blocks, right?
No, you haven't seen one guard past this door, or past the first door. However, you do see that at the end of the hall, there is another iron door, or another steel door, much like the one that you saw at the front.
Okay, so who is inside these 4 cells?
In one of the cells is a fire genasi, who's his flame, which you imagine was normally pretty impressive, is snuffed out and barely there. And he's just sitting there muttering under his breath, talking about, a deal's a deal, is a deal is a deal. You're not sure what any of that means, but he seems to be just chanting it, almost like some kind of protection.
Yeah.
Could I roll an Arcana to see how difficult it would be to disable some of the runic locking?
Sure, definitely go ahead.
Hey, Mason, hear me out. Prison riot.
Yeah.
So, it would take a little bit of work, but if you could disable even one of the bars and their runes, you would be able to
Give magic back to them?
at least a trickle of it. The other thing is that's the fire genasi, and he's on your right. He's the first one you immediately see.
Mm-hmm.
To your left is a dwarf who is just staring out into the hall. And you realize that she's not actually there. Her eyes are kind of glassed over, and you can see that she's gently swaying. You get the sense that her mind is far away.
Oh no, she's been made tranquil.
Mm-hmm.
So not older dwarf, crazy genasi.
The next cell you find is actually inhabited. You notice that it's made of glass, and you can see inside is a beautiful Cisalia, one of the octopus women. And she is trying desperately. You can see that she's trying to move her hands and chant something. You can't hear her because this is a glass wall and it's soundproof. But she is trying to cast spells and having no luck. Xavier, you recognize this as a similar vein of magic that your former captain
And you have to use this? Oh, Cell uses. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But nothing is happening. And you can see the runes are kind of inscribed in the glass as well, around the edges.
Okay.
Kind of like 13 Ghosts.
I'm going to talk into the fox's head, hoping it'll transmit back to where I
I
need to
hear
be.
what she hears.
So I'm gonna telepathically transmit. I could probably disable some of the runes on one of the cells. Which one?
You know it'll take you some time to do it, though.
there a
Question:
fourth
do you
one?
speak Sylvan?
Negative.
Well, the fox speaks back to you in Sylvan, and there's nothing you understand.
After hearing that, waiting a few seconds, just fucking point.
There is one last cell, though.
Fox does the wait, like hind legs, and goes. Wait.
Shark Bunny sits.
What's the last cell?
The last cell contains a very familiar looking shape. The black and white of its flesh making it very clear what it is. This is an Orcana, and he looks jacked. He is missing an arm. He is got cuts and bruises and scrapes that have not even been attempted to be covered or healed. And you can see he is wheezing, just holding on as best he can. This is clearly a were-orca, for those of you who are forgetting. However, he is stuck in his hybrid shape and does not seem to have the ability nor the energy to change.
Turn back. Yeah.
And he is missing his left arm entirely. It looks like it was ripped off at the shoulder. His tail has severe gashes in it, and you're amazed it's still on his body. Like this.
It's really impressive because normally lycanthropes regenerate.
Indeed.
After a bit.
Indeed, they do. But it seems that whatever is keeping him in here is also halting regeneration. You also don't know how much like other lycanthropes the were-orca truly are.
Yeah. That's also the thing. Okay. So, Fox heard that Bunny can disrupt runes with a bit of time. And there's also another door, similar to the one that the Minotaur Forged were guarding.
Mm-hmm.
If the Fox starts hearing for a bit, does it seem like it's a two-way street and there are Warforged on the other side as well?
Perception check, roll it.
Using mine because I'm using its senses?
Yes.
Okay, so guidance, perception, there we go. What you mean, Jesus?
As your fox listens, it can hear soft movements from the other side of this door, and you get the feeling that it's more like a guard room, where there's a bunch of guards kind of sitting, milling about, or just waiting for something to happen. And from the sounds that your fox is picking up, it seems like they're all more automatons. Just kind of waiting for something to happen.
Okay. So okay, we cannot risk the Orcana being the deaded in repercussionary riot suppressing. But we can probably... Okay, Mason. If you, for example, the more capable of these four seem like the octopus.
Agreed.
Because one of them is fucking crazy, apparently. The other one is not there.
So are we setting to runes on octopi?
So you can try and set the room on octopi, and the fox can try and probably break out some of the normal guys in the in the other room, or alternatively, we can just leave, knowing the guy is alive but badly.
I think leaving some sort of distraction in the area would be a good idea. I
Yeah,
would say probably start on the runes on the octopi, since they're obviously already trying to do something that could be a distraction if they get caught.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make it more obvious. Give them a bit of magical power.
Okay. So, by the way, the locks seemed like heavy-duty locks for jail cells, or normal locks.
These definitely are heavier duty locks.
Heavier duty locks. And the jail cells are just, blocks with the bars, no windows, right?
Correct.
Okay, how could this fox try and break out people? What am I gonna shenanigan out of this?
It'd either be try to break one of them out, or maybe help me with the runes, I would say.
You could. By the way, you still have all of your equipment with you if you turn back.
Yes, I do.
What do you have on you?
That would be my armor, 2 spears, my druidic focus, a mess kit made of bone, a bunch of rope, underwater light lantern with a bunch of bioluminescent jelly to refill it, an underwater hammock, water skin, and some bioluminescent torches.
Do you have any type of you have any spare bone?
I mean, we could probably just use use up the mess kit, the bone in the mess kit.
Because my thought process is, and pieces of bone that the prisoners can fashion into lockpicks.
Yeah, there'd be enough. I'd say there'd easily be enough in the mess kit overall. I mean, it's literally enough tools to be able to eat full meals.
Yeah, the fox can easily put tools inside the cells.
Would it be easier for me to alter the runes in my out of wild shape?
Yes, much.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, well, there's our plan. So,
just stuff the tools inside the broken holes inside the fox.
Yep. So that'd be drop wild shape.
And she carries the rest. Yeah.
Yep, and drop the mess kit made of bone for the fox to do with it what it will, and start working on those runes.
Yep. As you start working on rooms, the fox does the exact same pattern of going out and starts going into cells, handing out shit to inmates.
All right.
Let's start a riot.
For any inmates that question it or start going, "What the fuck?" the fox just goes in Sylvan for anyone who understands. Don't question it. You're gonna be fine.
So
I need Blaze to put on 3 Days Grace. Let's start a riot now.
no.
That is exactly why I started that.
I love that song. That was
However,
my favorite in middle school.
you actually watch as a couple of the inmates are given a bone and immediately begin to file it away as if they already know what they're about, as if they were basically waiting for something to give them something.
They understood the assignment.
As they do, it doesn't take long for them to start attempting to pick the locks. I will roll something in front of the screen.
You know what? I'll fucking guide one of them. The fox puts a paw.
99.
So, a dwarf, an Arin, manages to slip his hands through the bars as he is quite emaciated because he hasn't been being fed properly, and click, 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 and the door opens. As it opens, he kind of smiles and looks at the fox.
Fox nods.
I remember this, little lad. And he then goes and begins to pick the locks on everyone else's cells. A couple of people, one of the cells towards the front door also is able to get in, as they are a halfling, so... These...
What are the Shire?
These places are very well oiled and hinged, so it's very easy for them to open. As they open the cells, and as they are getting ready to make their escape, Mako goes to work on the runes guarding the fish. Once the others are through their cells, what does the fox do?
The fox stands in front of the door and basically starts trying to communicate. First of all, she starts speaking Sylvan, as I tell her to see if anyone understands.
No one.
No one understands. So she basically does. She taps her paw twice.
Okay.
Taps her paw twice and like walks in hind legs from side to side for a second
They all kind of look
to
at
see if
you.
we understand.
They all kind of look at you a little crazy. However, eventually, but anyway, one of them kind of like nods his head. He then kind of, he seems to kind of understand. What exactly are you trying to convey?
Try to tell her there's 2 guards out the door.
Side of the bars that are on the other side there, and he kind of smirks. You see him walk over, and as he does so, he kind of leans through the bars and whispers, "Hey, fire boy!" And the guy stops muttering, and then looks up.
Excuse me.
Give me a second. And you watch as he begins to cast, and you realize that he summons up a pair of mage hands, and taking his bone, he starts filing away at the runes.
Oh!
Mako, please roll me a Arcana check.
Okay, Arcana, go.
All right.
I'm pretty okay at the Arcana.
Yes, you are.
Oh,
And-
we should get us in this area soon.
As you open, as you're working at it, you and the gnome or halfling finish about the same time. And as soon as the gnome is finished, and as soon as you're finished, you watch as the Cecilia just looks at you, points, and then makes a motion for you to move.
Mako quickly moves out of the way.
As soon as you do, you watch as all of the water in the tank that she's in turns green, and you hear hissing as she sends it forward, and a wave of acid eats through her cell and splashes into the hallway, eating through the Orcano's cell as well. Meanwhile, at the same moment, everyone here feels this room get several degrees hotter as the fire genasi is now engulfed in flames, and he just grabs onto the bars and they melt.
No.
And he
Fox goes through back to the glass to that room.
Fuck did you guys do?
He cracks his neck, and you hear him. I am going to burn it all down. And he walks over to the set of doors blocking the 2 halves and just melts the door.
Fox starts speaking in Sylvan again to see if anyone understands.
The Sicilian actually does, and she looks to you.
Hi, miss. You might want to tell the Burning Man to please not blow up the complex.
I will do no such thing. I have something more important to do. And she walks over and, suction cups her way over to the Orcano and kneels down next to him, and she begins to utter something to him, very softly. And as she does, you watch as a bit of water flows from her into the Orcano and starts to seal his wounds.
I was able to hear all the conversations earlier about the fuel being highly
Volatile. Yes.
volatile.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk over to the Jadasi before he can walk out. Hey mate, be a little careful. There's some explosive fuel out and about there, eh? So just try to keep it back from the cells if you can.
He turns and looks. You will.
No!
Explosive. The flame is so hungry. He then proceeds to
Starting
walk
think
to.
there was a reason he was in the cage.
He then walks
The
towards.
fucking-
He then walks towards the main door. The Arcano now has enough strength to kind of pull himself up, and he looks to the fox and then to you, Mako, and he actually looks at you, Mako, a little askance. Are you one of us? And you see he creates a small druid craft of the druidic symbol. But his is for the Circle of the Sea.
Oh, you're the sea, eh? My particular circles of the deeps. I'm part of the Thorn.
Ah, I see. They must have sent you looking for me. We need to get out of here soon.
The fox just goes
Very much so.
vigorously
That,
nods.
that Genasi is about to blow the place up.
So if this place, if the fox just goes, if the place blows up with Graph in it, is mission accomplished?
Mako and New York, you guys don't know. However, you watch as the Genasi just begins to weave a spell, and he starts
Hey,
to.
I was waiting for the octopus woman to translate.
Oh, she asks the question, kind of looking confused, but as she finishes translating, you watch as the Genasi apparently has finished his conjuring, and he smiles as a beam of pure plasma, purple and black in color, spews from his hands and begins to cut through the door a la lightsaber.
Okay.
An alarm begins to blare violently.
Back in room, people around me just hear. We just did prison riot.
You see that the people who got your little bone and your pieces of like sharpened utensils are like ready to fucking go, but it's also against automatons. So question
Go
mark?
for the joints. Go for the joints.
However, as soon as the alarm blares, the door behind opens. Bam! And you see about half a dozen more Warforged are getting ready to come into the room. The Cecilia acts first, however, and she waves her hand and summons a wall of coral that just in front of the doorway. And she just looks to you all. I suggest getting out of here quickly.
Well, I can agree with that.
Fox looks at Mako and the Arcana. Lady, please tell them to turn into animals and get on my back.
She nods and relays the information.
Time to get real small.
The Arcano follows. He turns into a Froge.
Fox then proceeds to run through every fucking mirror she has made to circumvent the combat.
I'm turning into a crab, by the way. Tiny crab.
You can fit both in your mouth.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Fox is running through every fucking mirror she has made to circumvent this combat.
Roll a dexterity check.
Wrong sheet. I have so many. So she has a +4. D4.
About the lucky feet.
And
Will that
luck,
help?
yeah. So D20.
Man, Nyafta's MVP so far with that lucky
Yep.
gift.
Natural fucking 20!
Nat
Fuck
20!
yeah.
So,
Dude, maxed on both. Nat 20 and a 4.
yeah, right?
No, the thing is, the 4 is just its dexterity bonus.
I mean, you know.
Oh yeah.
Bolt through your mirrors. You see that alarms are blaring all throughout the compound now. This place is alive with activity. You watch as Warforged begin to come from every kind of place. Aryans, other kinds of dwarves, and even some minotaurs wearing full plate armor are coming in ready to roll. You manage to catch a glimpse of a line of purple flames coming out of the detention center, and people are screaming as they are burned and burning. And you can hear the Fire Genasi cackling with joy as he just screams, "Fire cleans the skin from the bones!"
Wow.
And
Turn off your flashing lights!
and
I like him.
he and
Alright.
fire begins to spread even on stone, which shouldn't burn, but it
Fire's
is.
hot enough it can melt.
And he is apparently, this Fire Genasi has gone completely bonkers.
Oh.
I think we let out the right people.
However,
Hey, we didn't let him out, but the halfling understood the assignment, you know?
the rest of the prisoners are quick to find and like capture any like living guards, shiv them, and then take their weapons. And this is a full-on riot at this point.
That
The
was
guild
the
is
point.
doing nothing but trying to suppress this. As your fox, you watch as a wall of dwarves, like 12 of them, with big like kite shield, like Roman
Our
Legion
shield
shields
Yeah.
and rifles, like dragon pistols, come
Oh.
marching in, filling the line. Your fox quickly creates a mirror up and over them.
Yep.
As they're not paying too much attention to you, because you're just some weird critter running through. But they have made a wall and are pushing through the hallway so tight that nothing can get by them. And you just hear... And as they proceed, you actually see that there are for every dwarf in the line, you see that there was a gnome directly behind them, handing them fresh pistols as they fire, and there is a second gnome behind them reloading the pistols and handing them up.
It's the Chinese crossbow strategy. Just pass it down the fucking line.
Pretty much. But you see that this is like, so there's 3 people per row, and then there's a second row coming up that you have to, again, port over.
Yeah.
And they are shooting anything that gets past them or anything that is not one of them. You hear some screams. As you get outside, you hear a massive explosion as a section of the guild is gone. Niafta,
So back, you guys just.
Niafta, Melly, and Reeve, as you guys are, this will be after you guys are leaving Sprockets. You can feel and hear the explosion, and it's a big commotion. However, the Arcano,
Sounds like they did the right thing.
the Arcano is safe and is coming with you.
All right.
A little bit before that,
Flashback.
indeed, Niafta, Reeve, and Melly, you guys arrive at
Sorry, just want to say, fucking Mason, fucking high five.
Gosh, I sure hope nothing crazy happens.
Gee, I sure hope nothing crazy happens. Sorry.
Nothing crazy happened.
you arrive at Spacely Sprockets, and the workshop is small. However, you can see that there is a halfling gentleman. He is balding on top, but has that ring of black hair around him. He also has a a shoe brush style mustache. Also black, though you imagine it's probably dyed. Because he looks older for halflings and the small folk. However, standing next to him is one of those tool-based automatons, and he is talking to it. Rudy, what is our latest projections? We are working at maximum capacity, sir. That's not good enough. Unfortunately, until the other Toolatons arrive, we are limited in our capacity. I got approval for those weeks ago. Where are they? Unfortunately, Mr. Cogs is halting their production. I hate that damn man. Fine. How long? Has he given us a new timetable? Yes, 2 weeks. And he kicks a barrel, sending it flying, and paint spilling out. This is where you find him, Niafta, as you're in the lead of this particular group.
Okay. Oh. I don't know, what should I say?
I mean, you can announce...
You're Niafta charm.
Yo, motherfucker, you owe us money.
Alright. Okay, I'm gonna try to make my presence obvious. And maybe try to tap the floor with my heels very loud.
You manage to do so, and he turns and looks, and whoa! And he quickly turns around, and you see him slick a hand over his head, and there's like 3 strands of hair that he slicks back, and he turns around and straightens like a little tie and his uniform. Welcome, madam. Welcome to Sprockets Incorporated. I am Mr. Sprocket. It's a pleasure to meet you, though friends can call me Cosmo.
Cosmo, I believe we are friends. As before, we helped you in the past, and you owe us something.
I'm afraid I don't exactly know what you're referring to, but enlighten me.
Out of character?
You have the paper.
Okay.
You have
What?
the contract.
Reeve is trying so hard to keep it in.
Should I just, like, hand it?
Yeah, you can hand it to him.
Okay. Then I hand it.
He looks at it and yes, of course. You were the fine folks who delivered those friends of mine. Yes, of course. Well, let it never be said that Mr. Cosmo Sprockets does not pay his dues. Rudy, the coin. But, sir, the coin. Very well, sir. And he walks over to a desk and begins to count some coins. May I just say that I didn't expect my assistants and associates to be helped by someone as lovely as you. What is your name again, madam?
Niafta.
And he holds out a hand to you.
I twitch.
In typical old-fashioned, if you give him your hand, he will kiss the back of it and smile. Well, while Rudy is delivering your payment and getting your fee together, why don't I show you around? After all, I have built this company myself.
I'm afraid we are in a bit of a rush.
Unfortunate. Well, perhaps if you're staying in Zeleni, you might humor me with dinner?
Sometime, perhaps, if I find any time free. But for now, it's gonna be goodbye.
A shame. But, alas, such is the working world. And, he looks, Rudy, have you got it yet? Yes, Mr. Sprockets. And he walks over with a bag of gold coins and offers it to you, Niafta. As you open it up, you are able to count it, and everything is there.
Good. It was
Ah.
a pleasure to do business with you, sir.
The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. And if you have interest in other work, I, of course, do pay well and have plenty more work for go-getters and ships of all sizes.
Also did.
Sounds good to me.
To which he bows his head. Well, do not let me keep you from your important work. After all, time is money.
That is correct. Have a nice day.
He bows his head again. Seems to have not even noticed or paid attention to Reeve and Melly. But as you open the bag, you find that the coin he paid you in is actually Krakens, not crowns. So he has paid you in platinum pieces. You have 12 platinum pieces.
We have 12 platinum. Okay.
So he gave us more, or just
No,
the
it's
shorter
the same but less amount.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Same in less quantity, not amount.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
instead
so
of like
every
20s, he gave
platinum
him in
is like
hundreds, kind of in a sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite literally, actually.
Ellie leans over to
And
Niafta.
then,
Why is time money? Time is a fourth dimensional construct developed by your civilization to clock the rotation. This goes on before the explosion.
Well,
so if you see, you can break the fourth wall.
Niafta, I imagine as you try to explain the concept.
I'm slightly flabbergasted as where this idea comes from.
I mean, fair enough. Niafta freely admits, I don't know why time is money or how it even exists like that. But apparently it does.
That is like,
She's just trying to
why did
understand.
this person come up with this? Like, time is money because you're supposed to invest your time in making money. If somebody wastes your time, is wasting your chances of making money.
Capitalism.
Right.
Capitalism, bam, 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 bam.
I couldn't figure out what would be a good sound for the explosion. The other one was this one. But that would have been worse.
I mean,
Uh,
I think I have an explosion sound, but it's not. It's a little high up there for explosion sounds.
Let me hear it. Let's do it.
All right.
Kudasai.
No, I don't have the Yamate Kudasai.
Yes, you do. You just don't want to use it.
Actually, I really don't. There is a feline.
oh,
Yeah.
we lost White.
Oh, ripperoni and cheese.
White was replaced by feline. I think I might be okay with this.
White missed the. Oh, hello. What's your cat's name?
Vladimir.
Vladimir?
Yeah.
Kermit, where the hell are you?
My mind immediately has to go to all of the usual Vladimir.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry,
I'm
I
No.
crashed.
So, as the explosion goes off, Niafta and, of course, our necromancer and our sea person are quick to, oh, look. And you can see through the windows and kind of different panes, you can see that there is a massive orange glow and some smoke coming from the direction of the Guild of Fuels.
Honestly, I wouldn't have seen it any other way.
Do you have a distaste for them?
I don't know. I was just fully expecting them to do a full-on riot is all. I know Xavier quite well.
Xavier can walk into the room. So we did a riot.
So Xavier showing up.
Like
Yeah, it's not
as soon as
in
the
sense
Fox got
that
out
I
of the
don't
complex,
like
Fox
those
is running
people. It's
straight
more in
back
the
here,
sense
and
that
I
know
came back to my
Xavier.
senses.
Yes, the Fox is running full tilt, using mirror step whenever needed, and
Yeah.
eventually will arrive back at Xavier.
But as soon as like I told the Fox that, I just get back to my senses, go find the others. So we did a riot.
Figured you would.
You did a what? Says Pip.
We did a riot. Full on prison break.
As I'm going to
What
drop
happened
the
to
wild
finding
shape
a
and pop up.
specimen, huh?
No, the fox
Oh.
isn't back yet.
The fox is running
Oh,
full
no,
tilt
that's right,
still.
that's
Yeah,
I keep forgetting the.
I was not there.
So you did a
What
what?
happened
I
to
believe you
your
said he started
specimen?
a prison riot.
I didn't say prison
But-
riot. I
Good
just said
news.
riot.
Good
That would
news.
make sense.
We have the orca. So we have a witness.
There is some good news to that, I suppose.
Also, I may have shorthanded something that I overheard. Graphs. I need to decipher it again.
Roll an intelligence check.
I will
May
take my
I
time
take
on
a
this
shot
bitch.
at it? May I see?
Yeah, of course.
I can't read.
Be guided, my cephalopod.
He guided
Oh, I'm
my
guided?
cephalopod.
Yes.
You get to add a
Can I roll
d4.
investigation?
Yeah, sure. Investigation with advantage and a d4. Because I imagine Xavier is helping.
Yes.
26 plus 4, so 30.
30.
Well, with the 30, you are able to expertly interpret what the hell he was trying to write.
I was blind at the time. I apologize.
Here. Oh, it's much easier to decipher than deep speech.
What the
As
fuck?
she is writing, like, it neatly in, like, block print.
As you do
But,
this,
yeah. But yeah.
I feel like I actually have to mention it now because it's been brought. The language I chose through my background was deep speech. Of all the fucking things to be mentioned.
Yeah, no, that's the language of part of my people, that and Celestial.
As-
Actually double checking what Reeve knows. Sylvan, Aquan, and Shanty.
Yeah, I know Aquan as well.
I mean, everybody knows
Aw.
shanty speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have
Call
deep
Reeve
speech
becomes
because
more eloquent
I
to Shanty.
imagine, you know, Eldritch Horrors from down below speak it.
Yes. I need to introduce you. I need to introduce you to Octi.
I need to introduce you to my dad, Cthulhu.
You're not wrong.
You have to stop trying to seduce Cthulhu.
Chief
Sorry,
like
you just like a
Cthulhu.
female version of Cthulhu?
Sorry, what?
I mean, Niafta is the bard, so if anyone was going to seduce Cthulhu, it would be Niafta.
Yeah, that's why I don't leave her alone with the ball.
The bard? Like, what am I supposed to do? Fight?
I mean,
I mean,
I guess
I'm
if
a
you get the
lover,
right
not a
group, you're having
fighter.
Either you want it's
Oh, we
either you're
can
having
fight
a
in
clan
bed, all
slam
right.
or a sword fight.
I don't mind a pillow fight.
So Rust should be back with them any moment now.
Indeed, and in fact, she is. And deposits a froge
A
and a
crab?
crab onto the carpet.
I present
Well,
you
metal floor.
them.
The Arcano turns back into his self, and you can see him just...
Is he still missing an arm?
Yeah?
As the crab is deposited, before I break my wild shape, you hear click, click, click. Then frog pops up, or then shark pops up.
Shark pops. Ooh-ha.
He did the dun-dun-dun-na with crab claw clicks. The fuck?
Yes. And then the shark
man.
is
It's like,
there.
click.
That's funny. As-
Yeah, so this is the result. Here you go.
Pip looks to the Arcano and just gasps in horror. You've been mutilated! You should... I can't even pretend. He just lays down on the ground, just panting.
Yeah, I can't even pretend.
But you watch as he slowly begins to shift, and he soon becomes, a Swole Lily. As he has the Orcano tail, the black and white coloring, and he just is muscular.
I'm
Though
so sorry. I have to put in the quotes. It's whoa, Willie.
Swole Lily, yes.
I'm gonna lay a hand on him and cast Cure Wounds. Let's get you back up here as soon as we can, mate.
You see as more of his wounds are healed and closed, but unfortunately, the arm will take a much stronger spell to...
Right, that
Be taken
would
care
take a
of.
regeneration off that.
Yeah. But, you know. We'll at least heal him up a bit.
Apologies for the bumpy ride, mate.
On the bright side, at least you could all see we had a blast.
We saw that Forge and Assy have a blast, but you know.
But,
Oh, dang it.
fair question.
Thinking
Ensign.
Willie like Free Willy.
No, Lily like Shy Lily.
Oh.
But presently, as he's laying there, he kind of he actually looks at you, Niafta, and like tilts his head. I think I know you. And he just falls into unconsciousness.
Oh,
What happened?
Wasn't he the orca?
you.
oh.
Wasn't he the orca that came with like two other people and Reeve like traded little items with each other?
I mean, no.
Oh, then maybe I'm thinking of a different orca. Because there
You
was
are.
a were orca and two other people.
Yeah,
And I
there were
got,
an
like, a
orc and
little
elf,
seashell,
and
and I gave them a scale.
yeah, this guy was already here.
Yeah, he's
Or
been
on
here
his
a
way.
while. However, with that, we will pick up in 2 weeks. So next session, because that is where we will end today's session. I am so glad to be back in this, as now some story elements are happening, some people are going to have backstory stuff, and character development stuff, and you guys are going to be doing a lot more fun
Yeah.
stuff. I'm excited.
Listen,
I'm sorry that took so long, guys.
I didn't expect it to go that way.
I'm just happy my first session in to join and see as Vodari, and I get to start a riot and blow something up.
Let's start a riot.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the spotlight will go on everybody in equal time. But I would like to thank my fantastic cast of characters for joining me today. In the order they kind of appear on screen is next to me is my brother Crowlot, playing our brand new Circle of the Deep's Tiburon Druid, Mr. Mako Mistbite.
You see, you play with the shark, you're going to get the teeth.
Nom nom.
No.
Playing our newest character, Melly, as I am not even going to attempt to pronounce that name,
Yeah, that's fair.
is our Simic hybrid School of Blood Magic wizard, played by Mr. Eric.
And I have so many undead friends to bring along the ride.
Indeed. And, of course, our dual-class rogue bard, Niafta, the Tiefling, played by the ever-lovely Laura.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't very participative today, but I had a mental crash for a sec.
I thought
Mood.
No worries, you'll be fine. And besides, next session, it's all about you. No.
You
fucked this Organa
before.
No.
Maybe.
But,
You know, there's just an orgy in that one tavern way back when.
next
You
we
know.
have Mr. Reeve, our wave dancer, Stormcloak Ranger, Stormcloak being an official subclass here in Seas of Vodari, as is Circle of the Deep, by the by. Played by Mr. Emil.
Friends.
Indeed.
We got new friends.
Oh my goodness! One of them's a necromancer, and he just I don't know what they do with the skeletons. I can't eat them.
I can't.
Now, me, I'm just a druid that likes to commit war crimes.
He's
I just
Canadian.
like to eat.
Well,
He
fuck,
didn't apologize
I'm
enough.
gonna have to change that. I'm gonna have to change the accent. Sorry, eh?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't apologize enough. He cannot be Canadian.
And last
Well,
but certainly not least, we have Mr. Xavier, or Traban, depending on his day, our half-drow necromancer tamer, played by the ever-talented Mr. Whitehill.
È stato un piacere, amici miei.
Nay.
Oh, man. I need to
Bless
learn
you.
more Italian. Blow my godfather's socks off.
It was a pleasure, my friends.
Yes.
Ow.
And, of course, I want to give a big thank you to our massive crowd tonight, a total of at least 7 unique viewers. And we have a new pack member. Welcome. I hope you all enjoyed the ride and will stick around for more high seas shenanigans, as you will find many more now that life is stopped, or hopefully, for the time being, stops getting in the frickin' way. But, of course, I am your master of the seas, Dr. John Wolfenstein, and we will see you in the next operation.